Oh my God.
We're live, bro.
All right, we're live everywhere. Welcome back. We are the show. My name is Sean, and this is my co-host, Carrie.
Yes, sir.
The man, the myth, the legend. All right, the green, Gandalf the Green. Now, couple of announcements. As always, make sure you guys are following us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, anywhere you listen to podcasts, whether that's a Google Play, iTunes, Spotify, wherever, we are going to be there. Okay. Now, we also have some exciting news. We brought on Miss Josie. She's the friend of the show. She's been on a few times. She's now with us full time, and she is doing some community outreach. What kind of plans do you have for Josie?
420. Big event, 420. Come out. Yes. 609 Virginia Drive, Orlando location. We're having 1 to 5. A lot of good things going on. Got some CBD ice creams out there. It's going to have food out there, burgers. We're able to bring your medication. Being able to use it outdoors in the open because it is a private facility. Again, 420, 1 to 5 we're going to do. We're probably going to extend it out since it is a little evening to about 7, 8 o'clock, probably about 7:30.
Okay.
Security will be there. Bring your kids, bring your family. Have face painting out there. Have bounce houses out there. I want you to have your kids to come out to us, experience a good time with your children, and stop on over to our booth, see our CBD products on staff, our grinders, our papers, be able to purchase everything there on the site. Credit card, cash available.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. We have that going.
Oh, that's true. I think the whole idea behind that is just trying to bring everybody together, make it more so like the legitimate side of medical marijuana. Make sure the community is together.
And the doctor will be there too.
Oh, okay.
I have to tell you that one.
Which
doc on staff, Dr. Carvalho, she'll be on there, on staff, on site. We're going to do recommendations same day. So if you need to come in, if you're thinking about coming in, you want to ask your questions, you want a free consult with a doc, she's there. We're going to have her there. We're going to have our NPs out there, our MAs out there, registering everybody. It's a huge event. Come on over. Anybody who shows up, a free T-shirt. Come out, get a free gear.
I've got
free swag.
I've got 4 shirts. I'm going to show up just because I can.
See,
I'm going to get another one.
Anybody shows up gets free gear. We want them to wear it around. We want to be big on there. We want to show it. So 420, come out to our event, 609 Virginia Drive in Orlando, Florida, downtown Florida.
It's like downtown Orlando.
Downtown Orlando, downtown Orlando, off of Princeton.
Right. It's like Mills 50 area. Okay.
Yep.
So we'll be making we'll make an event for that on social media.
Yeah, we have the flyers getting printed right now. We have all of our drafts getting done. We're figuring out who's going to come out to it. It's going to be really, really big. If you're in the community, you want to do something 420 safe. You want to experience it. You want to have a good time with your kids. Come on out, guys. Get your registration. And we're doing bud certificates there also. Very big for pre-existing patients who just have the OR certificates, who has another doctor, who can't get the bud certificate done. Same thing we talked about, Sean. Patients trying to find the same doctor who registered them. It's a huge issue. Patients are calling us right now. I can't find my doc. Well, guess what? Come on to our office. We don't charge you to switch to patients. We get you in here. It's going to take you about 30 minutes to an hour of your time to be on the phone. They call them to the state of Florida, get you deactivated. Unless you know your profile information, we can deactivate you that way. Then you get activated with us. Same doc, guys. Come build your patient care.
Yeah, that's a big thing. And actually, that I had a conversation with a patient just a minute ago. He was telling me that he lives in St. Cloud, and they were having they have another small doctor's office down there, and he had a family member go in. They got their medical card. And there was no education whatsoever. None.
Man, first question I want to know is why did the family member do that? He set him up for failure.
I know.
It's okay.
But that's why we're here. So just like Carrie said, don't worry about, we're not going to charge you extra fees or anything like that. We want to make sure that you guys are hooked up and you guys are getting the care that you need.
Yep, very important.
But that kind of brings us to today's topic. All right. So we want to talk about, I've got a little bit of a rant to go on, and then Carrie's going to piggyback off of that. But basically, we want to make sure that you guys are doing your due diligence, which means you have to do some research, and we got to make sure we educate ourselves and why that's so crucial, not only for Kissimmee, Osceola County, but continuing forward with medical marijuana in Florida.
It's patients, no, you can't say in Florida, it's patients worldwide.
Worldwide.
Because, again, think about it. In Alaska, it's been recreational forever.
Oh, yeah.
But where's the medication behind that? Well, Alaska, it's a different part of it. world. 6 months on, 6 months off. Go ahead with your rant.
That sounds terrible. That sounds terrible. I was actually, I was getting some work done on my car, and I don't normally watch the news. I don't know if you watch the news at all, like on TV.
Yeah.
I don't.
Occasionally.
News
is very depressing to me.
It is. And it's very polarizing. It's stressful.
Great word, polarizing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I was actually, they had Good Morning America on this on the TV. And I just happened to glance over because I was actually at the counter. I was getting everything sorted out. And I looked over, and it was Michael Strahan staring at me with this big gap in his teeth. And I love the guy. I loved him on.
It's the Giant, number 92.
Dude, yeah, you can't deny how.
Good Morning America.
He's got a great smile despite the gap. But one of the things that really kind of irritated me, and if you check out our Instagram or our Facebook, I actually posted this earlier. They had a 90-second segment, just a clip on on this dangerous high. Okay, that was the headline. That was what they were talking about. All right, and it said researchers link edible marijuana to spike in ER visits. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, because that
link. Say it one more time.
Now, the headline was dangerous high.
Okay.
Researchers link edible marijuana to spike in ER visits. So they're talking about hospital ER visits. Okay. Now this is from the University of Colorado. So researchers at the University of Colorado School of Medicine said things like pot-infused brownies, candy, and drinks are linked to more than 10% of cannabis-related emergency room visits.
Wow. You know, I didn't read the article.
It was just a clip. There was no article. It was just a clip. They were talking about that.
On education with the patients consuming it because they're thinking they're tough. That's where egos come into play. Oh, I took this. I'm not feeling nothing. Why don't you sit back and wait an hour? No, I'm big. I'm bad. I smoke all the time. Go ahead and take another one.
And that's honestly, and so they actually had a field reporter in front of a hospital. You could see like the Red Cross. No joke.
Wow.
It was ridiculous. And the thing that really ticks me off is that I don't think enough people are doing their research, and they're taking responsibility for what they're doing. And this is partly due to the doctors that don't know what the hell they're prescribing, or the bud tenders who don't know exactly what the patient's dealing with. Granted, they can't know because of HIPAA laws, but at the same time, I don't think anybody is really understanding the magnitude of what's going on here. And regardless of where you get your news, whether you watch Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, it does not matter. They're going to make headlines that are going to sensationalize, and this is exactly a prime example of what's going on right now. You have a situation like this where they're just trying to get views because people like Carrie and I are doing these live streaming shows where you can get real information. And if you're not doing the research and you're not seeing that, okay, I've never taken edibles before, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to eat an entire brownie or a cookie, or I'm going to do an entire drink, like if you're out in Colorado, you're going to have a bad time.
But you know what it is? You know why they do that, to be God honest with you?
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
They do milligrams. Because on the bar, you'll get a big cookie bar like this, cookies and cream. That cookies and cream bar might be 10 milligrams. Mm-hmm. But guys, it has 10 pieces in there.
Serving size.
Yes.
Serving size.
But they don't see that. They see 10 milligrams. Could not think about this. 10 milligrams, they can be confused with 10 ml. 0.25 ml. You take 1 ml for a syringe. A lot of patients don't understand mgs and mls.
Yeah, there's a big difference.
They think, wow, 1 ml does this to me, so I take 1 syringe. I normally take in 3 to 4 syringes because they might be on a low CBD base. Yeah. They might take 3 to 4 of the cookies. Trust me, I've seen it myself in Vegas.
Okay, so and again, I've got the background of the personal training, okay, yes, and I see this all the time. You have responsibility for your own body. I don't care what anybody says, unless you have, let's say type 1 diabetes.
But Sean, you have responsibility over your body.
Right.
I don't have responsibility over my body. Oh boy, I'm 30 pounds overweight.
Well,
you see the difference? Mm-hmm. As much as I might want to try, but it's hard. But go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I'm getting at.
I want us and our viewers to understand where you're coming from.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%.
Cool.
Let's say you have type 1 diabetes.
Yes,
okay?
Sir.
You have type 1 diabetes. There's things that you can't control. Your body was born without the ability to produce insulin, so you need to take medication.
Okay.
You have the responsibility as a grown adult to make sure you're reading labels and saying, well, I shouldn't eat this because this is shit food and it's going to be bad for my body. You have the responsibility not to smoke cigarettes, not to drink alcohol in excess. But if you have, let's say, type 2 diabetes, well, that's on you. That's a developed disease.
Think so?
110%.
So guess what? Say it again.
What?
110%. Say it again.
110%.
So now I'm about to take your 110 and knock that shit off like I'm Ken Griffey. You want to know why? Bat is up, guys. You ready?
Let's hear it.
Gestational diabetes. You don't know what that is. Gestational.
For the viewers.
Gestational diabetes.
And myself. Go ahead.
So if I'm a woman
okay,
and I became pregnant, I now become a type 2 diabetic.
Yes.
That is not any way, shape, or form my fault.
No, but you
hold on now. I'm not done, Papa. I know personally of a lady right now, 21 years going on, type 2 diabetic. Mm-hmm. And when she was pregnant, she was 300 pounds. She's walking around now at 200, 175. Mm-hmm. Still a type 2 diabetic.
Right.
Because she was pregnant 22 years ago, 21 years ago. She never lost that. The only reason why I know this, Sean, because I'm an OBGYN background. I run 5 offices.
Yeah.
And I know personal patients, so it's crazy, Sean. But just for education for us out here, besides that.
But that's even then.
Okay, even then, talk to me.
Even then.
Tell me how.
You have to do the due diligence. You got to put in the effort. And even though you have gestational diabetes, right? That's something that's developed. You can't help that.
Yeah.
Right? That's something that was out of your control. Mm-hmm. Now it's your responsibility to make sure that you take care of that and you take extra responsibility to take care of your body.
So I'm a fitness guy.
Doing things that are going to make that diabetes worse.
Let me tell you now. I go to a diabetes specialist.
Okay.
I go there monthly because I know a person who has this.
Okay.
Same person I'm talking about.
Yep.
They dropped 125 pounds, Sean. If you go to a diabetes specialist right now and you're a type 2 diabetic, first thing I'm going to tell you, because you're going to be on insulin regardless, first thing that they tell you is, how much do you weigh? I clocked in now at 300, Sean. Mm-hmm. I want you down to 250 pounds, Sean. You'll not be a type 2 diabetic. You get down to 250, I need you down to 200. You met their goals and their criteria. Mm-hmm. Sometimes, Sean, your pancreas cannot give out enough insulin.
Exactly.
So you get stuck in that particular situation.
Exactly. You're going to get stuck in that situation, right?
Yes, sir.
Through pregnancy.
Yes.
Okay. That's most women want to have children, and sometimes you have that situation.
Yes.
But you have to be able to take care of where your body's at now. That's the point I'm trying to make.
So what do you do now? At 22 years now, when you lost 125 pounds, you're 44 years old, walking around as a woman, you're a type 2 diabetic. Yeah. What can you do, Sean? You do the diets, you do the walking, you check the insulin before you eat. Yep. Granted, your insulin, your bolus, which is called a bolus count, went from giving you 8 to 12 bolus to 3 to 5, which is amazing, especially if you're going to put 35 carbs in there or 40. That's amazing for the bolus treatment. Anybody out there understands diabetes?
Yeah.
But dude, what can you do?
I'll tell you what you do.
Smoke cannabis. Become a green leaf patient.
I was literally just going to say that.
I'm telling you, dog. I swear to God, cannabis will help you get your blood pressure down.
Yeah.
Cannabis will help you curb your appetite. Yeah. Cannabis will get you from 175 to 165. Help you get going more.
That's right. That's why you smoke so much.
Yeah, right. Well, I smoke so much because, I'm just born. I'm the ganja king. It's not right.
Again, off the green. But that's what I want to just start off with is basically, regardless of what you see on any headlines, you have to make sure you're doing the due diligence, because even if you have never taken edibles before, you have to recognize that you got to take it slow. It's going to digest completely different. The THC.
You got to take everything.
Exactly. The THC is being digested by the liver. It's going to give you a different experience than if you were to vape or smoke. You just have to be able to recognize that those modes are completely different from one another. And you've got to watch the labels. You've got to watch how much you're taking. And this is kind of what I wanted to get into a little bit later, but since it's coming up, let's say our doctor is here, how do they determine how many milligrams a month or a patient should have?
This is what we do here at our office, and I'm a great example. Yeah. Your first script for bud is 35 days. We have every single patient write down a journal. how much grams you bought, what type of grams you bought. Excuse me, guys, did you buy the pre-rolls? Did you buy an eighth of different strains? How are you smoking your medication? Now, this is just for bud. You write this all down, guys, for your first 35 days of treatment. Now, granted, you're going to miss a little bit. But I refuse to understand that if you're taking your bud treatment 4 to 6 times a day, which you should be doing, because remember, it's 1 to 3 hours of onset time to last for you, for smoking bud. Yep. You have to at least write down 1 to 2 times. 1 to 2 times, again, I repeat, out of 6 to 8 times of what you're smoking, how you're taking your medication. Exactly. You come back in here to us now, we understanding. Well, you know what? Why are you smoking 12 grams today and 6 blunts or 6 pre-medicated rolls? Yeah. You know what you should be doing now? Let's try a tincture out. Is your pockets where you want it to be? Mm-hmm. Are you comfortable with this price? Because before you'd be doing oil. Now, for the patient who doesn't do oil before and now is doing bud and oil for the first time, you got to write down in both. You're going to go buy both. As much as bud is so cool, it leaves a stink on you guys. It's a stench. Your car stinks. You smell. Oh, I put a little Febreze on. No. It doesn't work, guys. The cologne, Versace, the Gucci, the mommy, the daddy, whatever you want to call it.
I was a light blue guy.
There you go. Doesn't. No. Always come in.
Well, I mean, and again, that's so you got to check your ego, and you have to make sure that you are doing the things that your doctor recommends.
Yes.
And it's not just a quick process like this. All right. You have to make sure that you're going into even the dispensaries and you're taking your time there. Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be a little intimidating when you go in there, but you have to talk to the bud tenders and you have to understand what you're getting into.
Honestly, I disagree with you. It doesn't have to be intimidating because you want to know why? Knowledge is power.
Yeah.
If you came to our office, you are not going to a dispensary and a bud tender feeling scared, feeling nervous, because you're going to know what a sativa is, you know what an indica is, and you know what a hybrid is. You know exactly by coming to our office these 2 visits before you get your recommendation, Sean, what you're buying, how you're buying it, what you're doing. You're going to them. This isn't a gym membership. This isn't a jewelry store. You're not, hey, I want to buy a bracelet. Let me show you 10 bracelets. No. You know exactly what you want to get done. This is a grocery store. This is a recreational shop that's medical that you want to know exactly what you're buying. We tell you the prices. We tell you what discounts to go to. Curaleaf and Trueleaf has the bud. Who has the best price out there? Message in and tell us. Who has the best product? We want to know this. That's only the 2 dispensaries out here.
Well, and that's the thing. I was talking to one of the patients earlier, and
great job. Difference between Greenleaf and anyone else. One of the patients. Anybody else out there would have said the patient's name. Good job.
Yeah, hit butt.
Yes, sir. That's real big time, bro.
Yeah. And this particular patient, and I was almost going to say what he has, but I won't. He needs certain strains, right? Dispensaries tend to cycle through the strains that they have, correct?
Yes, sir.
Why in the hell do they do that?
Selling. Why does Walmart go from selling Sharp this week on sale to Panasonic next week to Samsung?
But okay, you got the TVs, right? Let's take that example. You walk into let's say Walmart, Best Buy, whatever, it doesn't matter. You say I need a 4K 55-inch TV. You're gonna go there knowing they have a 4K 55-inch TV, whether it's Samsung, Sony, Panasonic, doesn't matter.
Okay, what you saw.
Okay.
All right.
They're going to definitely have different sales on particular models.
Yeah. But
you know definitively when you walk in there, they're going to have those TVs that you're looking for. Why is it that if, let's say, if I found that whatever, Granddaddy Perp puts me to sleep at night and that's my go-to strain, why do they not have a staple of certain strains that they can always have? Because if you
Knox would do that. You want to know why? I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Okay.
So you want to have it to where you know you're going to have that. Knox will have that. Knox has their own blends. You got to understand something. They don't own White Widow. They don't own Charlotte's Web.
Yeah, of course.
But if you own your particular strain, which we will have at Green Relief, we're going to have our own strains here.
Yeah.
So the lack that they have, we will supply for. Mm-hmm. So I understand that. Why they don't have that, I think Knox is going to be the first dispensary to have that.
Only because they have their strains. That's there.
Because the Seguido or the Allure or whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah.
Or that's their blend. You're not finding that at the next dispensary anywhere you go. Yeah. So they monopolize it. And they're smart. That's why we should do. We should find the popular ones out there, of course.
Yeah.
Think about it. That's the same thing we do with our products. I went out and I bought every single one of the best in the world of CBD-based products for your dogs, your cats, your mom, your dad, your auntie, you, whoever it is.
Doesn't matter.
Your child. 4-month-old patient came in and bought our CBD products a couple days ago. Great results so far.
Yeah.
We're going to have them check in next week again. But that's what we want to do. Now, also, we have our own brand, too. See the same thing?
Yeah.
We're going to have our own shit and be able to sell it. That's what dispensaries do. I get what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a little frustrating. But again, until you start finding that, let's say Knox has that consistent strain all the time, you need to start looking up on Leafly or Leafly, whatever you want to call it, however you pronounce it. Mm-hmm. And that's why I even post on Instagram and Facebook, like different strains, you know, like in the mornings, I'll sometimes post some sativas that are going to bring you up. At night, I'll be posting some hybrids or some indicas that are bringing it back down. You have to start looking at these, because if you're going in these dispensaries and you walk in there and all of a sudden your 35 days is up and you got to refill, crap, where's that last strain?
Guess what? You can't get your recommendation unless you come back into us after that 35 days. We don't care at Green Relief what the state law says. We're going to do what's medically accepted. Because what all these patients out here have to understand is they made it to where they, mean Mr. DeSantis and who else passed the bill, and the exact wording of that, we're going to allow the doctor office to medically regulate that. Not every patient's a candidate to smoke. Why do you think Doc MJ has different prices? They can't give you the same price. Why do you think MMTC, not every single doctor that they have as a full-in contractor is going to allow to take the smoking bud on their script? Mark my words. I was the first one to say it. Been doing this shit for 3 years now. Every time I spoke the truth.
Yeah.
So this is the next step. This is the same thing that happened over 10 years ago with the pill mills. Everything was kosher for a couple years, guys. Yeah. Be careful in where you're going.
Yeah.
Be careful of how you're getting your bud script. Make sure that not only your physician license is okay, your license, because you're a patient that got a recommendation from the state. Understand, your doctor has no control over you.
Yeah.
It's the state of Florida. If they deem you a patient who's taking too much of medication, how are you going to – let me ask you a question. For all these patients out there, I got 100,000 milligrams of my script, and I'm buying $1,000 worth of stuff at the dispensary. Every week. That's a lot. Think about it. Your oils are $30, guys. $28, $50, $60. You spend a stack a week. How are you going to come and tell this officer of the state, or you're going to tell the state of Florida feds, how are you going to tell them you smoked all this up every 35 days? Tell me. Or every 70 days. And plus you bought your pills, and plus you bought this. You're selling your products.
That's right. That's right.
Be mindful of what you're doing and how you're doing it, guys. They keep track of all of it.
Yeah, it's not just some loosey-goosey type of system, right? Yes. Every time that doctor makes a recommendation, they write down how many milligrams they're allotting you. And you have to, and just like you said, you have to watch where you're going, where you're getting your stuff from.
No, but Sean, we're not. Yes. Listen, we fill your scripts, your milligrams, but the state of Florida is who's allotting you that amount and tracking you that amount. We at our office track you. We're the only medical office in the state of Florida who tracks it. Show me somebody else who has an EMR software. Show me every single time a patient calls in, we document every single time you call what you called in for. Our physician, yes, you know, you don't have to, Sean. You should. That's medical.
I think there's a disconnect, just like with the doctors and the bud tenders.
But tell me why there's a disconnect right now with this. Do you know why?
In terms of what?
Meaning why we're doing things medically and others aren't. Do you know why?
Yeah, because it's more legitimate and actually.
No, brother. Listen to me. The doctors, any other doctor who takes insurance or sees you, a doctor does this to you and they don't have a medical chart, Sean, they're going to prison. Federal prison.
Yeah. Oh.
They do this to you, Sean. They now assume care of you, Sean, for that particular ailment that you have. Mm-hmm. They're under their care. The state of Florida, guys, is a recommendation. The doctor has no tie to you. Yeah. He can do A, B, C. He has to do the one physical exam.
See, I didn't know that.
Or she.
Yeah.
See, now we're educating.
Yeah.
It's a big difference, my friend. Yeah. It's huge. That's why these contracting doctors at $100, $150 an hour for 8 hours are coming in here and trying to do medical marijuana and just running the scripts off and not educating because they want to see the numbers. Show me an office who does 40 patients a day and doesn't write.
Couldn't tell you.
then you're going back and you're being the same. You're ER. Your doctor ain't talking to the patient. They're not telling you what your conditions are, and you sure as shit. If you're going to spend $400 or $500, I apologize, $400 or $500 at their office, they're doing the incorrect thing. You're not getting education. Then you're going to the dispensary, and then like half our patients now who's coming over to us. I'm spending $500-$600 a month. Remember, these are SSI patients, Sean. You don't know what's like working on $1,000.
That's a huge chunk of their check.
Dude, how are they going to pay their rent? They're borrowing money. They're going up their check and they're going to their savings account because you want to know why? Dispensaries, instead of coming out with the credit card machines like Canopay did, which they big should have did, they attacked the old people in the state of Florida. And it's BS what they did because they accepted CanPay. CanPay only ties to your bank account, Sean. Name one person that you know over the age of 40 years old that does not have a bank account. I guarantee you don't got a debit card, though. And I guarantee they don't walk around with cash. But you linked, exactly. Yeah. But you were able to link their bank account. Yeah. Where ATMs only allow you to take out $400 to $600 at a time. That CanPay allow you to $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. Pills are $116 a pill.
Well, it's like you said, it's starting to get to that point. Well, let me take that back. Just like the pill mills 10 years ago, you're going to run into that if because it's the same situation. It's perpetuating over and over again. You get these asshats that don't really know what they're doing, and it's going to start running into the ground. And that's just how you have to look at it, And that's why that kind of ticked me off this morning, is because headlines like that kind of perpetuate this bad stigma. And you have, and honestly, when's the last time you saw anything like that about opioids or prescription drugs?
You see bad stuff on opioids every day,
but nobody really looks at it.
Nobody. It's common now. Yep. It's like every time we turn the news on, I remember even now. My son's 9 and 10. I put the news on. First thing, somebody just died. I'm 6 a.m. in the morning. We're eating breakfast. This one just got shot. Is this what I really want to hear at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning? My son's like, damn, Dad. He didn't say that. He said, Dad. He died again? Yeah. He thinks it's the same guy. Like, no, this is not deja vu. This is just a world that we live in. Yeah. How is murder comfortable? How is opioid death comfortable?
Well, it's the norm now. It's the norm.
And that's what we're raising our kids in.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. It just blows my mind. And that's really where this came from, is just the amount of stupidity that you see just on this, even 40, 50, 60 years later of, all this propaganda.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about, real quick, just about back to the dosages, the differences between the milliliters and the milligrams.
Okay. So grams. Let's talk about grams, guys.
Yeah. Because there's a big distinction between this.
We're going to be smoking the bud now. This is what we all waited for. We want the keef, we want the cavity cones, we want the pre-rolls. Okay. An average blunt is a gram. Okay?
1 gram.
Uno más.
And you get 70 grams every 35 days.
Yes, sir. So if you guys wanted to, you can purchase your ganja. You can come to our office before purchasing it. We'll show you what grinders to buy. We'll educate you on how to roll your products. We'll give you the trays. We'll give you even the papers, meaning we can sell them to you. The papers are very important, guys. You don't want to start smoking cannabis with a bong. You don't want to do the water pipe.
No.
Anybody out there who has a universal ticket and who's been on the Hulk ride will understand this. We're like this on a ride, guys. This is like smoking a bong. You're relaxing, everything is cool, and then whoo.
You shoot out the tunnel and you're in space.
That's what happens with a bong, because you're smoking and you cannot control the high. You cannot control the terpenes and THC in your system. And it's just a head rush. And then once you cough, that cough that you get is a higher high.
Yeah. It just adds to it.
Yes.
And we talked about this way back. You have to lubricate, right? Get a drink. If you're going to do something.
Even if you're going to lubricate off a bong, you're doing it wrong. You should not be smoking a bong, period. Slow and steady wins the race. Smoking a bong is equivalent to, I can't even say the word right now. It's just taking a whole candy bar. That's 10 grams or 10 milligrams in that candy bar. Yeah. That's equivalent to the same thing. Because if you smoked the one blunt instead of doing in the pipe, you would have took your time and got there.
Right.
Take the one edible. In 2 hours, you would have gotten to your destination.
Well, you know what's funny too? The statistic they used, they said the edibles, at least in Colorado, account for 0.3% of the sales, but yet 10% of cannabis-related ER visits come from edibles. Now,
you know, honestly, 10% is kind of low if you ask me.
Thank you. Thinking about it, that's a tenth. That's a tenth. Granted, there's not a lot of sales made through the edibles, right? Because it's only 0.3.
Yeah, but what's the other 90% about that?
Exactly. What?
Maybe you sparked it and burned your finger or some shit, or you burnt off your eyebrows, or someone. I don't know. I'm thinking.
I don't know. Maybe it's a traffic accident or something. I don't know. Right? But one thing you got to think about though, especially with edibles, right? So he just said something about the bongs, right? So imagine you're on the Hulk ride, you get blasted out of that tunnel, and you're on a ride. Okay. Edibles are the exact opposite. Yeah. You're gonna go into. Imagine it's like the lazy river, but every time you take a lap around the lazy river, you're going to get closer and closer to a waterfall.
Remember that song Matrimony? It's with Wale, and Jerry Seinfeld's in the beginning of it. And he's talking about getting pre-love, and you hear the when you go on a ride, it goes. It's like you're going up and higher on that ride.
Yeah.
That's what edibles is like, guys. It's you're climbing.
100%.
Then when you get to the top, and when you get to a destination, smooth sailing, guys.
Yeah. But here's one funny story for you. You'll like this.
Talk to me.
Okay. So my first experience with edibles, was not a good one. Okay.
I can imagine.
Okay. So picture this. I'm in Gainesville.
Pre-fitness shot or after post-fitness shot?
This is like I'm still in college. I'm still.
Oh, wild boy, Sean.
I'm still a mess. Okay. Right. I'm still a mess. Okay. I go to Gainesville one weekend. And my friends just they started renting a house. So we're going to kick it off the new semester with a great house party. Okay.
Nice, good idea. So far, so good.
Yeah. So we've got beverages and we're playing our games and stuff.
Okay.
All right. Not Monopoly or Uno. Okay. But we've got some games going. So I'm feeling very good. All right. One of the owners of the house, he has cousins come up who have marijuana.
Nice.
And they get some Betty Crocker brownie mix. Okay. They don't do it the right way. They just throw the weed in there. Okay. Yeah. Very bizarre. But at this point, I don't care. I smell brownies and I'm thinking I'm starting to get a little hungry. I've been partaking in some adult beverages for a couple hours. I need some food. Let me tell you, I didn't taste anything. I ate a corner piece. That was probably maybe about that big, right? So a square, about that big, okay? Decent size. I go back, start playing some more games. Then I come back and I get some more brownies because I'm hungry. And it's about 45 minutes, an hour later, I'm like, I'm starting to feel these brownies now. Okay, and I'm thinking this is about as high as I'm going to get.
And how much did you take at this time? 1, 2, 3?
What do you mean?
How many brownies have you consumed at this point?
Probably 3, 4.
3, 4 of this size.
Yeah.
So you took about a good chunk like this.
Yeah.
All right, got a good 5 by 5.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So fast forward maybe 2 hours. I'm couch locked. I'm starting to feel it. And I'm thinking, man, this is crazy. I hope it doesn't get any more than this. Fast forward another 45 minutes. I'm around the corner by the AC unit and I'm puking my guts out because I've been drinking. And I'm high as a kite, and I can't handle it, okay? You're going to have a bad time if you don't follow directions, okay? That was my first bad experience with edibles, and I'll never forget it. But to this day, I prefer edibles over anything else because I've learned to control it, and I can eat it, and I will be kosher anytime I do it.
You know, edibles, man, I talk to a lot of other medicinal smokers like me, and I think edibles brings us back like it's the first time we did.
Yeah.
Like edibles gets you to a point of where life is just, whoa, I'm a fucking eagle flying. It's crazy out there.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's why, but it's crazy, bro.
It is. But again, that's a really good way to describe it because if you've been medicating for quite a while and you're using either a joint or you're using a bong or whatever with the flower, it's a completely different experience, and you have to be aware of that. And just like you said earlier, you got to make sure you're looking at, okay, my individual serving size for this edible is this big, right? And so when these numbers get thrown around, like, oh, 10% of all marijuana-related accidents in the hospital are from edibles, well, most people aren't paying attention. Yeah. And that's all it comes down to. You just have to pay attention to that. Right?
Like most things.
Oh, 100%.
How many times do you get a DUI? Don't drink and drive. Same concept. Yeah. It's just we're human nature. We're creatures of habit.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we're always going to eat and not paying attention. We're always going to consume too much. We're Americans. And Americans are gluttonous.
Yes. I mean,
at its finest. Gluttony at its finest is what we are.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. You know, too much weed, too much alcohol. It doesn't matter. Everything too in much proportion. McDonald's. Ugh, no thanks. All right. So, any final words from today?
Yes. 420. Our 420 event's big. Any vendor. You could not be a vendor. You could be a private owner at home. You can have your own bath bombs at your house. You can be A, B, and C. You can be a realtor. You want to come out. You want to speak to the community. You come out to our event. We're only charging $100 for a booth. You're going to choose our electricity, our water. Everything needs to get done. It's $100. Contact us. Carrie at agreenrelief.com is our email. KERRY at agreenrelief.com. Marketing also at agreenrelief.com is up and running. You can contact us, 407-572-8643. It's very big. I want to have a huge event. We're going out Thursday. Check us out. Ace Cafe will be out there in Orlando. Over 600 bikers will be there. Make sure you check us out. Make sure you're there. You come inside, get some drinks. We'll be having all of our CBD products there, all of our papers, all of our lighters, everything there. So if you want, again, check us out, Ace Cafe, 6 to 9.
This Thursday.
This Thursday. We're checking in at 3:30. We'll be live there at 3:30. Come on in, guys. Let us know.
All right. Yes, and we will be posting more information about that, okay?
Yep.
So we will be back tomorrow. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let us know if you guys have any questions, or if you're a patient and you want to come on and tell your story, please let us know. Just get a hold of us, message us, call us, whatever
DM us, anything. Come on.
Doesn't matter.
It's not too bad. We're talking up here. You don't even got to look at the cameras when you talk. Half the time it's me and Sean just looking. I have a couple patients out there right now. DM us. I want to come in and talk to you, Carrie, but I don't want to do it on camera. It's okay, guys. Trust me. You're in good hands. Like Allstate out here. I'm telling you this. A lot of people get scared being in front of a camera.
Oh, yeah.
I take the lead, guys. I'm Jim LeBron. I'm going to take it off. You got Sean out here negotiating everything for us. Come on. Come talk to us. Let's educate the world. Not just Kissimmee, not just Orlando, but the world. That's what we're here. Social platforms for.
Right.